So here we are, 3 years later since my last YouTube video, and I finally think it's time that I reveal to you something that I've been keeping in for a really long time. What's going on, everybody? First and foremost, I do want to say it feels pretty good to be back. It feels pretty good to be, making another video. I know it's not a cover like I used to be doing, but it's still a video nonetheless. And it really took me a long time to get to this moment where I felt comfortable enough to actually want to start recording again. It's been 3 years exactly. Throughout those years, I did a lot of growing. I did a lot of self-discovery. It's been a journey. It's been a journey, to say the least. I tried to make this video 3 years ago, but it just never worked out well. And so here I am 3 years later, and I finally feel like I'm ready to make this video. I'm ready to finally, tell you guys the truth about me. And yeah, this is really weird for me because I've never actually had a coming out story. I've never really told anybody about, anything about me actually. I always felt like I never really wanted to ever have to explain myself to anybody. I never felt like it was anybody's business, to explain myself to anybody. But the reason why I'm coming here today and I'm actually talking to you about this is because I know there's a lot of people, especially younger people, like me, and they may be afraid, and I want to just tell them, like, dude, like, it's okay, like, it's alright to just live your true self, live your true life, and just not worry about what anybody thinks about you. And so that's why I'm here. 1 year ago from last month, I started my journey on T. So what is this video about? Well, I'm trans. It was always something weird for me to say. I don't understand why it was just so weird. I always felt like if I came out and I said it, especially when I was doing my music journey and stuff like that, then I was just gonna be identified as just, oh, look, that's that trans kid. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't want to be labeled into one thing. And it has nothing to do with me being ashamed of who I am, because I'm not. I feel like at the time, I was still trying to figure myself out. I was still in that process of, I wanted to love myself for me before I came out and then, started this whole journey of, like being the new me. So my name is Gio and I am trans. I do have to say that one of the best things that I think I actually did for myself was I really took the time before T to really get to know me. You know what I mean? Like, I really got the time to sit there and just love myself for who I am. Listen, I know this may sound a little controversial, so excuse me if I say this and I offend somebody in any type of way, but this is my journey and this is how I took it. So I'm just explaining it to you, how I did it. Basically, before I started T, I kind of like went back and forth, with the idea of actually going on T in the first place. I went through a period of my life where I was just like, damn, like, I'm really not happy with myself. I'm not happy with my body. I'm not happy with this, my voice. I'm not happy with, any of this stuff. And I don't think that was the best time to start T, and I'm glad that I didn't start T in that moment. While I was feeling that way, I decided it was a good idea to go through this whole like self-discovery process, and I really started to just love me for me. Like, yes, I wish, certain things were different, but at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is, this is my life, this is my one body, this is exactly what I get, like, I can fight it all I want, or I can just learn to love myself for who I am and, what I have and all this stuff like that. And that was probably the best thing I ever did for myself. If I would have started T 3 years ago, just solely off of the fact that I did not like myself, I don't feel like my T journey would have been as good. Again, this is just my own personal journey and my own personal opinion. This sun is freaking crazy. I need to like constantly close and open the blinds. So excuse me if the lighting is getting crazy right now. But anyways, that was probably the best thing that I did for myself. I learned how to love me for me. After those 3 years, I decided, hey, listen, I think I'm ready. I want to get on T. I weighed out the pros and the cons for myself. I figured out why I actually wanted to do it in the first place. And my mentality shifted. I wasn't doing it because I hated myself. I was doing it because, you know what? It's kind of like the way that I say it. It's like I want to give myself just a little upgrade. You know what I mean? I don't want to change myself because, I feel like a lot of people, they look back at their past self and they're like, you know, that person's dead and gone, like never coming back, like don't address it. I don't want anything to do with it. You know what I mean? But for me, it was a little different. It was more like, yeah, you know, that person is still me, and I would never want to kill that person off. You know what I mean? But I'm just giving myself a little tweaky. A little tweaky. I'm just upgrading myself, you know what I mean? And that's just kind of how I did it. And so that's really what made my journey on T so much better for myself. But again, that's my journey. That's how I took it. That's, you know, how I did it. That was my outlook on it. I'm not saying that, you know, if you're feeling really dysphoric and, you know, you're not a big fan of, you know, your past self or anything like that. Listen, everybody has their reasons to feel how they feel. I'm telling you my story, okay? Truth be told, when I first met my girlfriend, well, she's my wife now, but when I first met my girlfriend, she kind of knew it about me. She never really pressured me into, like, you know, coming out and saying that I was trans or anything like that, but she had an idea, and she just kind of let me figure that out for myself. And that is one thing I appreciate beyond freaking belief. Like, I kind of was like battling myself on it. I was on the fence about it, but she like knew, and she just really wanted me to get to that point of comfortability where I can actually say it, you know. And even now, it was still even kind of weird for me to like out in the open say that about myself now. So I'm still kind of getting used to it. I do think that every single person's coming out story or coming out journey is completely different. Mine is definitely different, you know, from somebody else as well, which is why I'm choosing to come out here and I'm choosing to vocalize, you know, what I went through and how I'm feeling and how, what I'm going through now, you know what I mean? So that's the reason why I'm coming out and saying this. I know there's 1,000,001 coming out stories out on YouTube right now, but I feel like my story can resonate with a lot of people, you know, as well. So that's why I'm coming here and I'm deciding to tell you this story. So moving forward, I do, you know, want to get into little details here and there, maybe certain things that I went through or certain things that I did that helped me, you know, progress throughout my journey. And so that's why I wanted to come here and tell you guys this now. So I appreciate you guys for listening. Stay tuned for more videos. With music, my voice definitely changed since I started T, and definitely my story with coming out. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. Peace.